Yeah, hello everyone. This is a kind of a follow-up tutorial from the previous one, the point grower. I discovered something, so we can use actually dynamics when we build with our point grower kind of a cloning setup. So instead of volume meshing it, we use clones. So we clone objects onto the points, and then we can use dynamics. So, okay, let's jump into Cinema and I show you how this works. Okay, here back in Cinema, here is our setup that we did in the last tutorial, the point grower tutorial. And now we want to modify this to make a cloning setup. So because you want to work with dynamics, first thing we have to do, we want to make it a bit bigger, our setup. At the moment, we have here a point scale of 2 centimeters. So we up this to 10 centimeters. So it will work a bit better with dynamics. Oh, let's go back. Let's make here 10 centimeters. And what we can do next is put this outside of the volume builder. We don't need the volume measure and the volume builder anymore. So, and then let's jump into the node setup. And the first thing we like to do is to clone a sphere onto our positions. So first we need a sphere. So the sphere is the half, the radius is the half size of our scale, so 5 centimeter. Then we can plug our sphere here into the geometry operator. Then we have here our sphere. So what we need next, we need kind of a cloner. The matrix operator is perfect for this. So I'll use a matrix operator. Then add it here, port it into the operator, then this back to the output. And then here for the translation, we use here our positions. And then let's press play. So nothing happens because I think we have to adjust our noise here. So because we made our setup bigger, let's maybe also go here to 0.5. And this a bit smaller. Let's play, and yeah, we can see it starts to grow here our spheres. Let's zoom out. Maybe we can make the noise a bit smaller. 0.3 maybe. Let's play again. Maybe we use another noise type here. I played already around, so we use, where is it? Wavy turbulence, and then maybe here 1.16. Let's have a look. Yeah, this looks already better. So you see it already starts to slow down. So, but we can speed up this by switching here our capsule, the generator tab, to multi-instance. And when we now press play, you can see it is much faster. So it can handle a lot of points. So yeah, you can see it's pretty fast. So let's go back. And then we like to have our colors back. So here our color that we did with the age parameter. So, but now we don't want it as a vertex color. So we can delete those. We want it actually as clone color. So we can use a color operator. So this into here, this to the output, and then here our range mapper to the color. So let's press play. So, and you can see we have our color back. Maybe make the threshold a bit bigger. 0.55 maybe. Yeah, this looks nice. Yeah, it looks good. So now we could already add dynamics. So we can use the new rigid body ones. This also works, but if you use this one, you have to switch here to at least to render instance. But Bullet is much faster in this case, so add a rigid body dynamics tag here. Then go to force settings and add a follow position, maybe like 2. So let's have a look. And you see, okay, we have gravity. We don't want gravity, so press Ctrl D, go to the Bullet dynamic settings and remove the gravity. And now, yeah, you can see this already works, but we like to have some turbulence. So go to simulate forces, turbulence, then maybe strength around 30, scale around maybe 100, and the frequency a bit down here. Yeah, you can see they move around. I think we need to up the, here onto the dynamic tag, the follow position, maybe like 3.5. Let's test this. Yeah, this looks already better. So at the moment, the spheres are just popping in from one frame to the other. So we want to more like scaling in. So they fade in more, like they scale up. So because we have here our H parameter, we can do this with this one. So here we already have our corresponding H parameter for every point. And this put it up here. And then we like to range map this. And then we say, okay, the upscaling process goes from frame 0 to like, say, 10 frames. So, and in this 10 frames, we go from 0 to 1. We already can use this into the scale here. So let's go back. And you can see they scale now up, but we have a problem. They scale further because we don't clamp here our values. So we use a clamp. And now it will stay at the size of 1. This fading is a bit boring, so we like to have it more like a bouncy effect. So we can use a spline mapper for this. Plug this in here and this into here. And now we can here make kind of a bounce effect, maybe this here, and then something like this. Maybe let's test this. Yeah, now you see they start to pop in. That looks already nice. Maybe a bit faster. So go back to the range mapper, maybe say 7 from 0 to 7 frames. Yeah. That looks nice, yeah. So if you just want to use spheres here and you want to speed your setup up, you can go to the dynamics and go to the collision and say the collision shape is an ellipsoid. So this is fast to calculate. You already see it goes a bit faster. So, but we like to modify our setup further. So we, instead of just a sphere, we like to have those kind of crystals or stones or whatever. So to build those, maybe let's make a new file. Then go to the standard mode and use a box. Put the box inside of a fracture. Then add to the fracture and push apart. You can see, yeah, maybe go to the Voronoi fracture, to the source. Let's make some more points, maybe 30, 40. Okay, yeah, there are some nice ones. So let's convert this. And maybe let's take this one, and yeah, maybe this one. Ah, that's nice. Okay. Let's make sure they have kind of the right size. So bring them out here of the setup, delete the rest. We also don't need this stuff here. Just keep the normals here. Then bring them into the center. Okay. Let's check the size. So we go here. Okay, we see they have to be the same size as our point size. So now they are way too big. So let's make them smaller. Like still a bit too big. Yeah, around 10 centimeters, fine. Something like this. Okay. Let's take those, copy them back here into our setup. Here, crystals, put them in here. Then go back to our node, our capsule, sorry. Then bring them into our setup. So we have here 3 classic objects. And now we like to switch here the geometry for our geometry operator. We can switch it depending on our index here. So we can do this with a switch. Then say the data type is a geometry. So we need like 4 inputs. So we still want to keep the sphere and our 3 crystals here. So then open the operators, this into here, second one here, also third one here, and then the sphere also, also into here, and then this back to the geometry output. Make them smaller here. Okay. The index here decides which geometry to use. So first we have to switch here cycle index. So when we use here our index into here, and it goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, and then when you go to 4, it cycles back to 0. That's why we checked here this checkbox. So let's have a look. Yeah, we can already see we have now all the different crystals and also the sphere, but now they are oriented all the same. That's a bit boring. And also the scale is for everyone the same. So we can modify this here, our scale and our rotation. So we can randomize this with an hash node. So using hash node, then add the index here to the seed. And then here we use the float value here for our scale here. So, but we like here our scale value here, we like to multiply it with the float value. So we can use a normal multiply. So multiply this with this and then plug this into the scale. But I think now the difference is too big, so we can decide inside the hash how big they are. So maybe say from 0.7 to 1.1, something like this. Okay, maybe make some of them bigger, so the dynamics, they collide a bit more, so 0.9 to 0.3. Yeah, okay. And now let's do the same with the rotation. So we have to make a new hash, duplicate this, also add the index to the seed, and then here the vector 3 we can use for our scale, for our rotation. Here say here -1 to 1, then plug this into the rotation, and now we have random rotation. Let's play it. And now you see they start to rotate. So we also have to set here in the dynamics under the force also the follow rotation, maybe also 3. I think they need more. Yeah, the problem is still we have we have here under collision the ellipsoid, because we now have also crystals, not just a sphere. We have to go here. I think the best is convex hull here, because they're all convex objects. Yeah, and then the follow rotation up this to 6. Here for this rotation thing, a little correction here. Because of this popping, so they rotate pretty fast when they pop in, and we couldn't stop it here with the follow rotation. That's because the start scale of those clones is 0. So when we raise here inside the range mapper the output minimum a slight bit, just 0.01, it stops this rotation thing. So let's zoom in. You can see now we removed this hard rotation at the start. And next step, we like to texture them, but first we like to separate them so we can texture them differently. So the sphere and the crystals have different texture. So we can do this via color channel. So the color channel here, let me show how this works. So for example, we have here the age value. It goes from 0 to 1. So this fade. Then we have the spheres, and we also have our crystals. So how can we separate them? So there is a trick. We can do this actually with the colors. So with the value RGB values of the color here. So what we need is a gradient. Oops, basic gradient. So we need 2 of them. So let's say this is our crystals. This will be the R value, and this will be the G values. So R from RGB and G from RGB, and this will be our spheres. Then let's first go here to RGB, set them to fully red. And then the same here, but green. Okay, and now we need also a switch here to decide the color for each clone. So like we can do this also with a switch. And here we like to have the same amount as our clones here. So add two, then the type is color. Then the crystals are from 0 to 3. So add this in here. And then the spheres are the last one. Sorry, as I here from 0 to 2 are our crystals, and then the index 4, 3 is the sphere. So that's has to be identical here. Then plug this into the color, and then we also need the index into here. And then we have to also cycle it. Now we have the sphere and the crystal separated. So, but we want also our gradient back, so our H gradient. That's why we have still one channel left, so that's the blue channel. So when we go here to the crystal, then let's dive into this knot here, and then say go to RGB, and this one here is blue 255. The same here in this one, and then the position is here our mapped H value. So maybe let's play it a bit more. So yeah, you can see here the blue fades in here over time. So now we can use those colors inside our texture. So I think that's it here for the node setup. So let's jump here into the standard layout. Then we need a texture. Delete this one, add a new one, open our texture here. Then also the Redshift render view. It's in here. Maybe make it square, so it is a bit bigger. And plug this to here. Yes. Okay, let's press render. Okay, here it is. Then go into our material here. And first we need this color information. There we can type in color user data. Then we go here to presets and then to objects, and then say object color. And we plug this here into the color. You can see, press play, solo it. And we have to add the material, of course. Yeah, you can see here we have our colors inside this color user data node. So then let's split it up with a color splitter. Splitter, yes, this one. Add this into here, and now we have here our RGB values. So we can check. Let's press render, check the R value. Oops. I think the R is wrong. Let's check this. So I found the problem. It has to do something with the color conversion. So you can go to press Ctrl D and go to the project setting and deactivate the linear workflow. This is workaround number 1. So you can see now we have here the crystals in white or the spheres in white, or here our gradient inside of the blue channel. But if you like to stay in linear workflow, could do something else. So we can just ramp those values. So plug this in here. Then we use a ramp. Go a bit closer. Add it in here. Then set those to step and then find the, yeah, so around here. Then let's do the same for the G channel. Follow this, and this is also fine. And the ramp of the blue channel is okay. So now we like to add different materials depending on those values here. We can use them as a kind of a mask. So first we need some materials. So maybe let's go to the materials here, search for stone, maybe use here the green one. Oops, no, that's not a Redshift material, maybe something different. Yeah, maybe this white material here, the white marble. Add this to our material. This will be our crystals, and then we need something for the sphere. Maybe you use for the sphere a glass material. Maybe this coated glass. Let's take the blue one here. Then we like to take the whole material here from the glass and we group it, press Alt G and say this is our glass. Then copy this into our final material. Here's our glass material. Do the same for the marble. Take this, group them. Oops. Call it marble. Copy it then into our final material. Then we can delete them. Go back in our final material. Then we don't need this one. Now we like to have a material blender. So call in blender. And our main material will be the marble. And then the glass will be the second one. And the blank color here we can use as mask our green channel. Add this in here. And this to the final output. To here. Then maybe let's check it. So now you can see here the spheres are in this glass material and the crystals here are in this marble material. Or maybe add an HDRI. Simple 2-point light here. add a dome light. Let's check the render. Maybe rotate it. Something like this. Yeah, it looks okay. Now we also like to use our blue channel here, so the gradient, the H gradient, so to modify our texture. So add this here to the marble and also to the glass. Whoops. Then jump inside of the marble, and then in here we could colorize our marble maybe. Then here this is the diffuse color channel, so we use a ramp. Zoom in, feed in our blue channel here. Then use maybe a preset, maybe also something blue, something like this maybe. And invert it. And then we add this here to our color. So we use a composite, color composite, then our main color, then the blend color, and this to the output. And then we say is multiply. Let's check. Overlay. Yeah, it's a bit harsh. Okay, I think we have to or maybe invert it. Maybe something like this. Yeah, this looks nice. And then the same for our spheres. Jump into the glass material. Here is the glass color, but for the glass material, oops, I think it's this one is the glass one. Let's check what's inside here. There is also a metal one. Yeah, here is the reflection color. Maybe we decide to ramp the reflection color. Use a ramp. Then maybe from this blue that we already have here. Where is it? It's here, the color correction. This one here, huh? Something like this. From this blue, something around this to maybe, let's try something golden. Oops, not in here. It's in here, the reflection color. Not much happened. Maybe also put it in the base color. Yeah, that's better. Let's check it. Okay. Maybe also add it to the reflection color. Yeah, I think you get the point. It's maybe not the best material here. So maybe invert it. Maybe this looks better. Yeah, you know how it works, so you can play around with it. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. Of course, you can download the files on Gumroad. As always, you find this stuff in the description. And if you have any questions, leave it down in the comments. So then I wish you a nice day, and we see us in the next tutorial. Bye bye.